Welcome, FX Nation Live members. It is Tuesday, May 13th, 2008. This is DC here live in the trading room. Let's get your week started with the Euro USD. Currently trading at 1.5531. Now, this thing did trade up last night, so we're going to need a retracement back down into solid support levels before initiating a new long position. I think the 1.5400 to 5409 level will provide that support, and that's right here where this monthly S1 pivot is, this red line coming across, along with the 00 level at 5400. So if it could come back down about, say 125, 130 pips into that 5400 to 5409 area with not a lot of sell pressure and good divergence, that should be a good long. We'll call it a long at 1.5400 to 09. Profit targets up at 1.5470 and 1.5500. All right, let's move on to the USD CHF. This thing had a 00 fade off of the 1.0500 area, but I really want to see this pair retrace further up to 1.0557 to 1.0567, and that's where the monthly and weekly R1 pivots are, along with the daily R2 pivot. And that's going to be right where this green line is. That's the monthly R1 keeping prices down. And you can see, other than a few follow-throughs here, prices pretty much kept below that level. And we also have now a weekly R1 pivot backing that up as good solid resistance. So let's call it a short at 1.0557 to 67. Profit targets at 1.0500 and 1.0460. All right, GBP USD. The GBP USD has a weekly main pivot up at 95.85, but I think I like the S1 monthly pivot a little bit higher at 96.34. So this thing would have to come up about 100 pips, but the S1 is this red line coming across right here. I really like that level of resistance coming up a little bit above that 9600 level, and I just feel that it's going to be stronger resistance. We also have a daily R1 pivot right in that area as well, so that provides us with double resistance. So let's call this thing a short at 1.9634. Profit targets at 1.9574 and 1.9537. And we're going to finish up with the USD JPY. This thing hit resistance right at 104, fading from the 104.03 area. And it hit that same level of resistance last week as well and bounced down. So there is a weekly main pivot in that area acting as additional resistance, which is good. So look again for maybe the 00 fade scenario above 104. The lower end of the zone is going to be around 103.80, which is right around where that weekly main pivot is. So let's call it a short at 103.80 to 104. 20 pip zone, kind of a wide zone, but look for it to run out of gas anywhere in that area. Don't be surprised if it kind of peaks through 104 a little bit, so you might want to have some patience on that. So we'll call it a short at 103.80 to 104. Profit targets down at 103.10 and 102.90. Let's call it 103.10 to 103.20 on the first profit target, down to 102.90. All right, let's recap this thing for you. Euro USD long at 1.5400 to 09. Profit targets at 1.5470 and 1.5500. USD CHF short at 1.0557 to 67. Profit targets at 1.0500 and 1.0460. GBP USD short at 1.9634. Profit targets at 1.9574 and 1.9537. USD JPY short at 103.80 to 104. Profit targets at 103.20 and 102.90. That's going to wrap it up for your Tuesday, May 13th, 2008. You can get all of these levels in the community blog. Also, jump on the live chat. I know that's busy during the London Open and the New York Open. A lot of traders on there hoping to help out, and you can get a lot of good information there. Also, get May's Read and React, called The Reverse. That thing has worked tremendously well for a lot of members. In fact, if you've noticed on the blog, several members are trading that successfully and posting the results in the blog. They're very, very happy with it. So make sure you get that. Go to the education and training section. First product